Do you live with a sense of anticipation for what's coming? Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always enjoy connecting with you midweek. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope you are being blessed by the Lord in everything that you say and do. That thought for you again. Do you live with a sense of anticipation for what's coming? Now, I came across a word not long ago in my own Bible reading and thought, wow, that's a word we use all the time, but I wonder if people have ever really stopped to think about that word. And it's the word gospel. Now, normally when we use that word, we think about, maybe that's something to do with the message of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection. We kind of call that the gospel. Sometimes we call the first 4 books of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, we call them the Gospels. Sometimes we refer to a certain genre of music by saying that's gospel music or something like that. So that word gets used quite a bit. But my guess is most people have never really stopped to think about what that word means. And here's the thing, that word was in use long before the Bible came around. It's not one of those words that was invented when the Bible was written. No. That word had been around for a long, long time. You see, in those olden days, pre-biblical days, when a new king came into power, that new king would send representatives out into the countryside to tell people about the fact that the new king is in power. And of course, when the new king is in power, at some point in time, that king is going to make some travels out to the countryside to see all of his loyal subjects. So those messengers would go out into the countryside with a message. And the message was, there's a new king, and sometime soon, the king is coming to you. And of course, with the idea that the king was coming, people would be preparing well with this idea that when the king gets here, we want to greet him well, and we'll make all the necessary preparations. And the interesting thing is, that whole idea of the message going out was called a euangelion in their language. Now, that's a pretty difficult word to pronounce, but it's the word from which we get our word evangelism, euangelion, evangelism, and we take that word and literally translate it to mean gospel. So when those messengers went out into the countryside to tell people that, hey, folks, there's a new king, and by the way, that king is coming soon, and you should be prepared when he gets here, they simply called that the gospel. So here's what's fascinating to me. When we look at the New Testament today, we see people like Mark saying, hey, I have a story to tell you, and it's the gospel of Jesus Christ. Now, for us, we'd say, oh, gospel, I love that idea. But hey, back in the first century, they all knew, there's a new king, and the king is coming soon. I should be prepared. I should live with a sense of anticipation for the fact that the king is coming. Okay, friends, you know where we're going with this. Since we call the message of Jesus the gospel of Jesus Christ, in effect, what we're saying is, there's a new king. He's my king. And that king is returning. That king is coming to me and to my peoples soon, and I should live both with a sense of anticipation, and I should be really well prepared when he gets here. Hey, here's the thought for the day. Do you live with a sense of anticipation that Jesus is coming? Do you prepare well in your life? Is your life well prepared for the coming of Jesus? Because biblically speaking, we also believe that Jesus could be returning at any time. And friends, we want to live with a sense of anticipation for the King's return, and of course also be prepared for that return. Friends, do you live with both a sense of anticipation for Jesus' return, and are you well prepared for that return? Because friends, the Bible says the King is coming, and we should be prepared. I hope that's a message that finds a place in your heart. We call it the gospel. May you live with the anticipation of the gospel today. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope you know that we love you and pray for you regularly. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.